Hello everyone, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm Martin Wenzel, and today we're in Punta Gorda, Florida at Punta Gorda Airport, or also Charlotte County Airport, used to be known as. We're going to be flying to Nashville International in Nashville, Tennessee, 602 miles, and we're going to be flying on Allegiant Air in the FlyByWire A32NX project, the A320neo from Airbus. And we're going to be using, main goal of this is to try out the FS2Crew, the flight deck, flight crew simulation thing for the A32NX, something I haven't ever tried before. So first thing we do is right here we can launch it. There's quite a few different things. We're going to be using obviously the FBW A32NX project. Launch that, and it should launch right here in a moment. There it is. I think we can. And it'll actually pop up my other screen. What we can do is it does have a configuration thing, can change the panel capacity and all that. But we'll probably have it just a little higher so you guys can kind of read what's going on. Close this. So we got a lot of things going on at the same time. Basically what we do is, okay, we have this assist. This is gonna kind of tell us what we need to do. The flows are gonna be what the first officer does. So as in this thing, I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, so when that keyboard is X'd out, that means MS Flight Simulator isn't active. And what we do is we have the flows. The flows are going to be what the first officer does. We play as the captain and pilot flying. We are in the captain's seat and we are pilot flying. So the first officer will assist with things. And then right here we have the pre-flight events. Once we click this, everything will get started. We can see we got some info here. Running pre-flight events is optional. Press pre-flight events. Top row to start departure countdown, so we'll depart in about 20 minutes. Or I think it has about half an hour. I want to make sure our takeoff time is right here. Current time. Departure time, we're going to want to be about right there, I think, when we get our self-loading cargo started as well. We'll see how they interact with each other. Engines must be off for the pre-flight event button to be visible. Refer to the pre-flight button tooltip for additional guidance. I'm not sure how we do that. Use Pushback Express. We don't have Pushback Express. I'm just using Pushback Helper. We'll do all that. And then refer to assist panels for additional guidance. That's what we have right here, the assist panels. Flow info, the first officer will establish electrical power. The captain, that's you, sets up the rest. So basically, once we hit this, it'll start the countdown for when we're going to push back. And the first officer is going to do a few of the first things that we usually do ourselves on our checklist. Namely, make sure I get my checklist in front of me. There we go. Probably out of order. Alright, I got my checklist right there. And the first thing, parking brake set, wipers, spoilers, masters, and all that. So I think we'll probably want to do that ourselves. Now, I do only have it on voice, or I don't have voice on right now. But in the future, once we get a little bit more familiar with the commands. So we'll just do this check, and then he might probably do this check as well. So parking brakes set, wipers are off, spoilers are retracted, engine masters are off, engine mode selector is normal, thrust levers are idle. Flaps retracted. Actually, Yeah, see, there's our flow. I think once we start this, there are some different things that we'll do. And some of this stuff, actually, he'll call them out, and I'll check and make sure. So let's just get it going here. Where are we? Yeah, right here. We want to go. Let's get our power connected. Our power truck. We'll get luggage, catering, stairs. Hope at that main door. Don't think any stairs are coming. This is Punta Gorda Airport. Punta Gorda down in Florida. So we'll click this. And there it goes. You can see we have 29 minutes. And the first officer is doing preliminary cockpit prep flow. And so what he is doing, he just hit the batteries. He has also put the external power on. Looks like he's doing the APU fire test. And he'll probably hit a few lights here. Yeah, he just hit the nav and logo light. And then it'll be up to us to do the rest of the setup. Setup overhead, MCDU, the FCU right here, and the center console. We do our flow.
I'm out for the walk around.
All right, so he's gonna go do the walk around, and while he's doing that, I'm just gonna put this off to the side screen just so I can see a little bit better. Fortunately, on that button issue, get our lighting set up the way I like it. Kind of strange doing it. I feel like I'm doing everything out of order because he's already done a few things on the checklist, or at least the checklist I have and the way I'm used to doing it. Turn all our screens up since it is a sunny day. Live time though. And he might actually do that himself, the first officer. Alright, so we got battery master switch 1 and 2 is on, the external power is on, strobe lights are set to auto. Adheres, the nav. Sometimes if you're not in the right view, it won't let you do it. Nav 1, 2, and 3. And we'll do our fire tests. Alright, here also turn the wing light on. We do display brightness, seatbelt signs, not yet, auto, arm emergency lights, and let's get the passengers coming on board. 143 passengers today. And quickly before we, let's get our fuel. Fuel we need 7,669 kilos. 7,669. It takes 6 minutes. There it comes on. That's why we don't have the seatbelt sign on yet, because we are fueling. We're ready for boarding.
Hi, cabin crew. We're ready to get going now. So as soon as you're ready, you can open the doors and start letting the passengers aboard. Thank you.
No problem.
Hopefully the sound levels are right. I had it set up for when I make my videos, and videos I can change that in post. So if you're in the chat, let me know. Alright, annunciator lights, and now we can request ATC for clearance.
IFR to Nashville, ready to copy.
Allegiant 612 is cleared to Nashville Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 4 climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 127.05 squawk 2766.
Allegiant 612 cleared to Nashville Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 4 climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure on 127.05 squawk
It's really annoying,
2766.
depending where I am.
Allegiant 612 rate back direct. Contact ground on
buttons always.
119.55. Good
So our
day.
Spock is in.
I'm back. No issues on the walk around.
Alright, so now he's just going to kind of twiddle his thumbs while I do the rest of this setup. So we're going to go to our... Now here we do have some, like the voice command assist will tell us request ATC clearance, check the box, are we ready for the takeoff briefing?
Okay.
Yeah, see, I'm not sure what that just happened. Changed a bunch of stuff. I gotta be careful what I say because I think it still does recognize speech. Alright, let's get into the MCDU. So a lot of this is the same, but it's gonna just be a few things that they'll do. So we go into our ATSU, AOC menu, init request.
Cabin crew.
I don't know. Yeah, he's jumped into the. He's on after landing floor right now, so that's kind of weird. I don't know if he's picking up something. Like I said, we're seeing what happens. Hearing him bump some switches.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion of our flight. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign and the aircraft is parked safely at the gate. This will be your indication it is safe to move about the cabin, gather your belongings, and disembark. We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We appreciate your business and hope to see you again on a future flight.
Okay, not sure why. And not sure why it went to that checklist. I don't know what I said, but it kind of jumped out of order there. As I said, first time trying this. Let's go back to the config. Oh, why is it on voice control? There we go. Well, that's what happened. It somehow jumped to voice control, and I don't know all the voice commands yet, and I said something. But we're going to try to... Go back to the cockpit prep flow. What that does. Hopefully we get back to where we should be. We're still doing pre-flight. So we're get back into our flight computer. Yeah, see, it's like for some reason it's like after landing checklist. I don't know what happened there. Really weird. All right, so let's just keep going with our thing and we'll figure out if it makes any sense. Yeah, a lot of different things popping up and bouncing around. Don't know why it's on landing checklist. Okay, we are flight 612. Our alternate is Atlanta. Cost index today going to be 9. Cruising is flight level 380. Let's go into our flight plan. And our flight plan today, Rogan is our first checkpoint. And then we're going to Lima Alpha Lima. And to Brutz, Bravo Romeo Uniform Tango Sierra. And then we go to an airway. Click on the left hand side there, airways. And we go Quebec 118. Take that to A. Cool. And then we're going to go direct from Kale to Jagger. And then we'll have our could have a star arrival.
Hi, the security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yeah, see, something's missing here because it used to have, when I did it before, I would have some different things that I could say. You could talk, kind of like over here where you can send messages, address the cabin, you could do it here. Well, like I said, this is kind of finicky right now. Different than the last time I even used it. And it keeps going back to voice control. Yeah, it's actually doing voice control. I don't know why. Alright, we're gonna exit that. We're gonna start it over. Like I said, we're trying it for the first time. It's being kind of weird. Keep doing. There we go. Now I can request ATC clearance. Already done that. 4-star checklist. So. There we go. So then we'll hit the before start checklist and we'll start going through making sure everything is set the way we need it. That's more like it. This isn't good. There we go. Wasn't letting me close that. Alright. Init page 2, we are kind of really taking our time, getting distracted.
Hi there, we're ready to go up here, so once everyone's on board, please feel free to close the doors and we can get going.
At page 2, we are waiting for our fuel. Fuel is on board, so we can go 0 fuel weight.
Okay, great.
Go fuel planning. We have 7.6 fuel actually on board. And then our performance page, and still need to use that calculator that I've been using. But we're just gonna kind of make it up. No big deal. Usually it ends up being around here. Well, let's get the calculator out. I don't want to just completely make it up. But if you guys have watched some of my videos, this is what we have. Go over to a lot of stuff popping up on the screen. We're going to go and open our charts list, get our airport info, and we are taking off from runway 4, 35 degrees. Some of this probably doesn't really matter. Elevation 23 feet. Runway length is, they don't even have it in meters for this airport. What is that? 7,000 feet would be feet per meter. I'm going to say about 2,400 meters, let's say. Slope, we'll just keep that 0. wind. I'm just trying to get this in quick because we've been kind of sitting here for a while. Let's see, our wind 100 degrees 7 knots. Back to our calculator. 100, 7. Outside air temperature 31 degrees. UNH 1013. It is dry. I'm gonna put wet because it was raining before. Doesn't like that though. Let's keep dry. Our total takeoff, or our takeoff weight, is 63.6. Flex, air conditioning on. Center of gravity, in order to get that right up here. Center of gravity, 25.16. Alright, so 139, 141, 142, and 58 degrees for our flex takeoff temperature. One, 141, 142. Transition is 10,000 feet. Flaps 1. Flex takeoff 58 degrees Celsius. And we are now set in the MCDU. Instaboard with offloading cargo, otherwise they'll get stuck in a loop in the back here. They aren't. We got all our passengers on. Doors are closing.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck. This is the captain speaking. On behalf of the entire flight crew and myself, I'd like to welcome you aboard today's flight.
I don't love the
flight attendants are there
voice.
for your comfort, but more importantly for your safety, so please give them a few minutes of your undivided attention while they go over the safety features of this aircraft. Once the boarding process is complete, we'll get the cabin door closed and push off the gate for an on-time departure. In the meantime, please sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, we're going to be flying to Nashville. Temperature is 31 degrees, all that kind of stuff, but he didn't really do that. So I think hopefully they have some updates or something with that. I predicted wind shear.
My name is Steve. I'm your pilot today.
Yeah, I think the self-loading cargo sound is better.
Flight attendant Alana. She, with the rest of the crew, will be making our way around the cabin, making sure you're comfortable. We're not anticipating any delays, so we should be arriving on time at our destination. The guys on the ground have just told us they've finished loading the final bits of luggage into the aircraft, so we should be on our way very shortly. We are, however, waiting to receive clearance to push back and start before we taxi to the runway. If you could help the cabin crew by getting yourself sat comfortable with the seatbelts fastened, that would be fantastic. Once airborne, we'll be starting our in-flight services, but for now, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with us today, and I hope you enjoy the flight. Thank you.
Alright, so we have done, basically got everything there. We're going to do before startup checklist.
Before start checklist.
Cockpit prep.
Cockpit prep.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
We have our seatbelt sign on.
On and auto.
ADIRS.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
Fuel quantity 7660.
7660 kilograms. Set.
Takeoff data.
Set.
Barrow ref.
Two, 992. Set.
2992. Set. Down to the line.
Alright, so now let's get our mate CPU master switch. Start. And we actually didn't do our flow above. We clear our white lights. Fuel pumps. Scrubbers auto. Everything else looks good. And we also want to do our center panel. Like I said, it's a little different trying to figure out, like, okay, what does he do? What does the first officer do? I'm not totally in love with it yet. We'll see.
Ground Allegiant 612 requesting pushback.
Ground Allegiant 612, no pushback tug is available to answer your request.
Request start clearance.
Ground Allegiant 612 requesting pushback and start clearance. Okay, cleared to push and start. Allegiant 612.
Alright, we got our tug. Let me see, we need to push back to our left so we can get on Charlie, or get on Delta, take Delta down to 4.
Below the line.
Windows and doors.
Closed.
Closed. Beacon.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
It's just not letting me do stuff.
Off.
Before start checklist complete.
Alright, so let's get pushed.
Starting engine 2.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight today. This is the lead flight
We didn't
attendant
have the
speaking.
AQ going.
Please direct your attention to the cabin crew for important safety information. There is an instruction card in your seat pocket that illustrates the safety equipment on this aircraft. Regulations require compliance with this information as well as all crew instructions, lighted information signs, and posted placards. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle. Tighten by pulling on the belt. To release your seatbelt, lift the metal flap on the buckle. It is our policy that you keep your
And
seatbelt
you can see
fastened
that
at all
both
times
self-loading
while
cargo
seated.
and
Doors are clearly marked with
and
exit
our,
signs and instructions for door operation.
FS2Crew are doing safety briefs at the same time.
Locate the exit nearest you. The nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, lights will illuminate the aisle. The cabin is pressurized. If there is a loss of cabin pressure, a panel will open and oxygen mask will appear. Remain seated with
So many people talking. So many people
toward
talking.
you to start the flow of oxygen. Oxygen will be flowing to the mask even though the bag may not inflate. Cover your nose and mouth with the mask. Place the elastic band around your head and tighten by pulling on the end. Secure your own mask before assisting others. Your seat bottom cushion may be used as a flotation device.
Kind of
Pull
fun.
up and remove the cushion. Upon
Let me see. I
exiting
don't know
the
if there's a way to
aircraft,
turn
place your
off.
arms around the cushion and hold on to the straps located on the back. This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or lavatories. Cabin lights will now be turned off. Reading light buttons are located above your seat. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, so there's a lot more in here. Sometimes some of it you're already getting self-loading cargo. Alright, let's do
Starting engine 1.
Ground Allegiant 612 requesting the end of pushback.
Allegiant 612 request to end. Pushback received.
Then you also have the in Microsoft Flight Simulator first officer making contact. So there's a lot of extra stuff going on.
Contact tower on 121.0 when ready.
We'll see. I'm not not absolutely thrilled with it. It just seems like a lot of extra stuff to do right now.
Alpha, Charlie Allegiant 612.
Hasn't really helped my flow too much. Alright, we do have both of our engines.
After start checklist.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Ecam status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
26% set.
Rudder trim.
0.
After start checklist complete.
Turn off our view. Turn on our runway and taxi lights.
Request taxi clearance.
Ground, good afternoon. It's Allegiant 612, ready to taxi. Cleared to taxi. Allegiant 612.
Turn our weather radar on. Parking brake. This is really frustrating because it's hard to. Buttons don't want to work. That's why usually I'll send my first officer who does that.
Clear left side.
Clear right side.
Okay, flight control check.
Flight control check.
Ready. Full down. Full up. Neutral. Full right. Full left. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full right. Full left.
Rig check.
Pressure 0. Neutral.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Okay, he's doing the flight control check. You can actually be taxiing at that same time. So what we'll do? Oh. Flap set. Like I said, just a lot of extra stuff that it lets you do if you want to do it. We have a little bit of an incomplete airport, it looks like. Where it's, maybe I'm supposed to be over here on this line. That was my problem. Not the airport's fault.
Ready for ISR departure runway.
Before takeoff checklist.
Flight controls.
Allegiant 612 QNH 29
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Cleared for takeoff
Checked.
runway.
Checked. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Cleared
Flap
for
setting.
takeoff runway for Allegiant
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. B1, BR, B2, flex temp.
B1 139 BR 141 B2 142 flex temp 58 degrees.
B1 139 BR 141 V2 142 flex temp 58 degrees. ATC.
Set.
Ecam memo.
Takeoff. No blue.
Down to the line.
Request takeoff clearance.
Tower Allegiant 612 ready for departure. Cleared for departure. Allegiant 612.
Below the line.
Cabin crew, be seated for takeoff. Approach path clear of traffic. Cabin crew.
Really frustrating. I can't get these lights. I can't do anything from the captain's seat. So many knobs. I can see I can't. It gets really annoying. Like you can't access those from the seat you're in. The rudder's still not reacting when it needs to.
Advised.
TCAS.
TARA.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Packs.
Packs are off.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Got everything. He's checked everything.
Takeoff.
Check.
Man flex 5, gate. SRS, auto thrust, blue.
Checked.
Allegiant Air, Charlie Golf, Oscar Mike Uniform, 10 miles southwest inbound ILS runway for approach.
Generic Charlie Golf Oscar Mike Uniform Tower. QNH 29er.9er 0 wind 105 at 12. Cleared ILS
Thrust
runway
set.
for approach.
Cleared ILS
100 knots.
Check.
Oscar Mike Uniform.
E1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Runway.
Track. Check.
Tower Allegiant tree 1311 miles southwest
Gear up.
inbound ILS runway for approach.
Gear up.
Allegiant 612 contact Fort Myers departure on 127.05.
Flap 0.
Speed checked.
Allegiant tree 13 tower. QNH 29er.9er 0 wind 105 at 12. Cleared ILS runway
Open
for
climb.
approach.
Check.
Going
Flaps 0.
17.05 Allegiant 612. Fort Myers departure Allegiant 612 is at 2,000 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Allegiant 612 Fort Myers departure.
Packs are on.
Thrust, climb, auto thrust.
Check.
AP1.
Check.
Nav.
Check.
Climb.
Check.
Transponder appears inoperative or malfunctioning. Reset to clock 2766.
Fort Myers departure Allegiant 612 would like to change destination to Nashville.
Allegiant 612 is cleared to Nashville Airport as filed. Clock 2766.
Okay, so he turned off the lights, the ground lights, and still have our landing lights here on. He's going to take care of that.
After takeoff, climb checklist.
Landing gear.
2927, you are 1,600
Up.
feet above
Flaps.
your assigned altitude.
Retracted.
Packs.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. QNH 29er.90.
Allegiant 612
Packs. Normal.
Packs are on.
Down to the line.
QNH 29er.90 continues.
Clear red map.
Okay.
Following heading 020, resume road navigation climb.
Below the line.
Barrel ref.
Standard set.
Standard set. After takeoff, climb checklist complete.
Continue to road and turn
Now
exit
start.
following
Check.
heading
Speed.
020.
Check.
Proceed on course climb and maintain 12,000 feet Allegiant 612.
Alright, so it's kind of cool to just have all the checklists and everything, but I don't know. Alright, let's get some looks at these in our Allegiant airplane as we fly over
Miami
southern Florida.
612 is at 8,500 feet, climbing 12,000 feet.
Allegiant 612 Miami Center QNH 29er.87 continue to road as planned.
1,000 to go.
Check.
See, I can't even control
Vertical to speed.
Check.
Thrust, climb.
Check.
Climb.
Check.
Miami Center United 149er 5 is passing flight level 360 descending 10,000
Outstar.
Check.
Speed.
Check.
West 49er 58 contact Miami Center on 133.275.
So he just turned off the lights, the landing lights. That's pretty cool.
United 149er 5 traffic is 10 o'clock, 2 miles at flight level 340. Report them in sight. Air Shuttle 6312 traffic is 3 o'clock, 1 mile at flight level 360.
So I can't click on some of the buttons, which is really annoying.
1,000 to go.
Check.
Miami Center on 13.
It's pretty cool to have
Set standard.
Standard cross-checked. Passing flight level 114.
That's pretty cool.
Going to 13.4.55 Allegiant 612.
Now.
Checked.
Miami Center Allegiant 612 is passing 11,400 feet, climbing 12,000 feet. Allegiant 612 Miami Center QNH 29er decimal easy continues broken as planned. United 1420 contact Miami Center on 132.35.
Now see, the only thing I think that would make it better is if there was a few more things to could have the first officer do. For example, talk to the Microsoft Flight Simulator ATC, because right now we got. It sounds like we have a radio guy, plus we have the first officer saying things, and we're kind of talking over each other. Kind of interesting, kind of have someone else there. Cost $20 for this, and I'm not 100% sure I really think it's worth it. I wish there was like more of a free trial and just give it a try and see if you like it. I'm gonna try it. We'll try it a few more times, or at least we'll try it for this flight. Maybe I just won't like it, but maybe return it. But if it's something you guys are interested in, this is what it's like. Obviously, there is the option to do it by voice control. Right now, I'm doing it by button, so I literally have to. Oh, you have control. I could say that with voice, and I think it would go right here. There'd be voice kind of giving me a trigger, like how do I get the first officer to do something. We're going to get up to our 38,000.
Allegiant 612. Request flight level 220.
It's so different flying over the United States compared to most of our flights, which have been over Africa. It's just a very different look.
Maintain flight level 200. Expect flight level 220 Allegiant 612.
See, the problem is, again, I can't click on this. I have to kind of go over. I almost have to go into the first officer's seat, which the first officers did have it at a preset. Look at his screen. He's got a whole bunch of other stuff on his. Cool. Did have a preset though. This is one of the presets, but I don't know where the preset for first officer went. Interesting.
Thrust, climb.
Check.
Climb.
Check.
It'd be cool if the first officer could put in some of those inputs. You couldn't get to it. I also need to figure out how to raise my seat because, again, some real-life pilots have said that they're sitting way too low. Definitely here. Here's even too low. And even this shot is not that great. I kind of want to be able to see the nose and where we're going. We do have a little bit of real-life traffic going on, so that's pretty cool. I did not jump into VATSIM today just because I wanted to focus on one thing. Like this page right here shows us we do have Mike Yankee November Center is online right now. I'll get to 38,000.
Miami Center Allegiant 612. Request flight level 320.
Okay, so I have this next one is you have control. So basically, I can give the first officer, I don't know if they actually control the plane, but they'll have control while I set up the approach information in the MCU. And here's a different thing that we get when we're flying in the United States is we do get a little bit more traffic around. Pretty cool. Here at Delta, Southwest. Not many Southwest flights really flying in real life right now. A lot of cancellations going on.
Outstar. Check. Speed. Check.
to go.
Check.
Miami Center, Allegiant 612. Request flight level 380. Allegiant 612, climb and maintain flight level 200. Expect flight level 380. Climb and maintain flight level 200. Expect flight level 380. Allegiant 612.
Beautiful clouds today.
Beechcraft Aerofield Hotel. Contact Miami Center on 127.2. Good day. Allegiant 6125 and maintain flight level 260.
Give you an idea where we are.
Climb and maintain flight level 260. Allegiant.
Basically, right off to our left is Tampa Bay, Tampa, St. Petersburg. We're going to be going right over Lakeland. And we're down by Cape Coral, Fort Myers.
Out check.
We're just going to be heading up the left side or the west side of Florida. And then we're going to basically follow Interstate 75 up to Atlanta, past Valdosta and Macon. Macon will be off to our right. Actually, we're going over Albany, Georgia. I go there a lot in the truck. Also Atlanta, Chattanooga, and we're going right over Chattanooga. So this will be really cool because this is a road that I've taken a lot, especially between Albany and taking 75 to Atlanta. Cartersville is where our terminal is from Millis, and up through Dalton, Chattanooga, and then 24 up through Murfreesboro to Nashville.
Please expedite your climb flight level 260.
That'll be pretty cool to go over this area. I want to go back there. There we go. Sometimes it works. 260.
Thrust, climb.
Check.
Climb.
Check.
Well, it's kind of cool to have it. Now, I think what would be cool is once I get the voice commands, I can say that stuff, and then he'll say check. That's where it probably really shines. So, as I said, this might be something I'm just going to have to work with and get used to. See if I really, enjoy having it. I'm not 100% sure. I really think it's worth the $20 I paid for it, though. Some people might. I thought it was a pretty cool concept, something to try out. But it might be something that, I do like the idea of him flipping those lights and everything. That's going to be helpful when we're landing, crossing, getting down to below 10,000 feet, all that. There to our left is Tampa, Lakeland. We're going to be kind of over Lakeland. St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay. Home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl champions. Tampa Bay Rays, who were just bounced from the playoffs by the Red Sox, I believe. Tampa Bay Lightning, I think, for hockey. And I believe they won the Stanley Cup a few years ago.
1,000 to go.
Check. Outstart.
Check.
Speed.
Check.
A little rough live stream. Been a while since I've done it. Just trying to doing a lot of different things here. Probably be using, I mean, because I do only have this.
Allegiant 612 climb and maintain flight level tree 20.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 20 Allegiant 612.
It's like just can't get up for
Vertical to speed.
Check.
Thrust. Climb.
Check.
Climb.
Check.
Flight level tree 20 descending 10,000 feet.
Southern Air 681 Heavy Jacksonville Center continuous
so
climb.
this only works with the A32NX, I guess. You have to purchase for each different kind of plane. And it's kind of interesting. It's like paying for a $20 thing to go to be used with a freeware thing. But it's just something interesting, something I want to try.
132.354 Southwest 1233. Chronos 2 tree, you are 47 miles north.
Like I said, not terribly impressed by it. It's okay. I was expecting a little bit more.
Jacksonville Center Air Shuttle 6312 is at flight level tree 60 descending 10,000 feet.
And I probably should have watched the video of seeing if someone else was using it just to see what it was like. But I kind of wanted to give it a try and get that out for you guys.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vector visual runway 1 right approach Chronos 2 tree. Generic 918 contact nav for departure on 125 decimal tree. Good day. Going to 125 decimal tree, generic 918. Jacksonville Center Delta 130 climb is passing flight level tree 50, descending 10,000 feet. Delta 130 Jacksonville Center continuous climb. Jacksonville Center generic November 560 Bravo Golf is at flight level 280 descending 10,000 feet. Generic November 560 Bravo Golf Jacksonville Center continuous climb. Jacksonville Center generic Foxtrot Tango Hotel 918.
1,000 to go.
Check.
900 feet climbing 10,000 feet. Uniform, you are 73 miles north. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vector
Outstart.
visual
Check,
runway
check.
approach. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vector visual runway and approach generic 1 tree uniform. Allegiant 612 climb and maintain flight level tree 80.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 80 Allegiant 612.
Out.
Check.
Thrust. Climb.
Check.
Climb.
Check.
Air Shuttle 6312 traffic is 11 o'clock 4 miles at flight level tree 70.
1,000 to go.
Check.
Like I said, just trying out the FlyByWire A32NX, or we're not really trying out the FlyByWire A32NX. I've flown that
check.
a ton of times, but you're hearing that the first officer talking, and that is with FS2Crew for the FlyByWire A32NX. It's also available for other planes. I don't know if any of them are for Microsoft Flight Simulator right now. I think this is the first one. Might be. I believe they do have one for the default A320 Flight Simulator, but obviously a lot of their stuff right now is still set up for prepared 3D,
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments we'll begin our meal service.
possibly X-Plane, and FSX,
for the 2 meal choices
Flight Simulator
and your beverage choices
10
available.
from 2004.
Request that you keep the aisle
So
clear.
they're probably going to be adding
The
more.
flight is served
Like I said,
efficiently and
down there
also
you can
for
see, I
your
think
own
that's probably another plane, maybe at an airport, maybe flying just at a low level. Cool. Alright, so here we have a little bit of information as we're approaching the top of descent. Since we are now at our cruising, it is giving us a little assistance. When we're ready to set up for approach, we announce you have control. So we can do this by voice control or just hit the button. And so once I learn the voice control, that'd be kind of cool because that's how you do it in real life. You're not pressing a button. Announce you have control, and then we do all of that messing around in the MCDU that we've done on many other flights. We'll come in here and we'll go to our performance page, space, and we'll fill in all this. Obviously, we want our first officer to be controlling while we have our head down in the computer. We'll obtain our arrival weather. So this gives us a bunch of stuff that is actually on the checklist usually. They also help us in here on the screen. You don't have to be looking at your manual or at your checklist. Set up our MCDU, that's our computer. Auto brake low or medium. So it just gives us a little bit of a checklist. Brief approach, and even here on our descent we have some extra things. Quite a little bit of information that we do. And then once we brief the approach, we go back and forth with our first officer and say, okay, what we're doing, and then announce that I have control. Now I'm flying the plane again. I know it's on autopilot, but one pilot has to do it. Damien's cool. Sorry, Damien's cool. We are heading to Nashville. We were down in Punta Gorda, Florida, around Fort Myers, and just flying up to Nashville. I wanted to find a relatively short, it's not terribly short, about an hour and a half, 45-minute flight. I wanted to just find a nice domestic flight to fly with Allegiant Air and try out FS2Crew's new offering for the FlyByWire A32NX, which, if you don't know what FS2Crew is, it is basically a program that gives you a flight crew. Self-loading cargo, PAC-X, they add some flight crew, but it really doesn't have much for the first officer. Actually, the first officer in here will flip switches, they'll turn on lights, turn off lights. So as we're descending, we'll actually turn on our landing lights when we cross 10,000. Every time we switch our altitude, they'll go check altitude, check speed, all that. It's pretty cool. Not sure why. The chat box got messed up here. Let me see if I can fix that. Not sure what's happening there. Damien is cool. Sorry, I can't read. Damien is cool. Yeah, we are headed to Nashville International, Bravo, November, Alpha. Allegiant Air. Camera's still tipping over. Let's kind of hide. FS2Crew. We're over in Florida right now. Where am I? We are running along. Trying to see if I can find the highway. Right below us, that is US 19 and US 98, and they're gonna curve off here, go to Cross City, Gainesville, Florida, where University of Florida is, the Florida Gators. That's gonna be right over there, probably covered by clouds. And if we spin the other way, see the Gulf of Mexico and the west coast of Florida. And really nothing, no major cities. We'll see Tallahassee off to our left in the distance, and then to our right we'll cross the state line and we'll be at Valdosta, and we'll kind of be, I want to say probably 20 miles off of just following I-75, Interstate 75, right up to Atlanta. And as I was saying earlier, it's a road I know well. I've driven 75 quite a bit in Georgia. Only a few times into Florida. Don't get down in Florida a ton. That's my trucking company. If we do, we kind of get stuck sometimes. This river is the Suwannee River. My plan to do domestic flights is going to be probably using the CRJ, the Canadian Regional Jets from Aerosoft, because I don't use them a ton doing the world tour, because most of those flights tend to be on A320s or the Boeing 738, which we don't have the Boeing 738, so I just jumped in the A320. I am considering getting PMDG, some 737-800 when it comes out, however, but I'm thinking maybe I want to just hold on to that money and buy maybe a bigger plane, a PMDG when they do that. But we'll see. I've never gotten a PMDG product, but I've heard that they are obviously the top notch. So I bought an Aerosoft CRJs, and PMDG kind of is study level. It's the best of the best. That's why it takes quite a while for them to come out once they get to a new platform like Flight Simulator. I like to have the chat show up on the stream. Lost it.
for Allegiant 612. Jacksonville Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
Next live stream, we'll probably do a live stream tomorrow, at least one, if I can. Thursday. Got a long weekend, off today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's how it goes when you're an over-the-road trucker. You take off a few days if you're not home for stretches at a time. But yeah, I'll be doing a live stream hopefully tomorrow, maybe later tonight. But maybe later tonight I'll just record the next world tour video where we're going from Casablanca to Novgorod, Mauritania. I'm over in Western Africa. But the live streams, the goal with the live streams, Flight Simulator live streams, we're going to be doing stuff like this, trying out some different things, freeware or payware products, such as FS2Crew, and also to fly the CRJ. I want to get into that plane. That's a plane I bought and haven't just been able to fly it a lot. Smaller regional jets, we're going to be flying more regional flights, flying hopefully to, and doing domestic flights in America. So flying the flight I do have planned, the first flight I have planned for the CRJ is going to be Jackson Hole, Wyoming, down to, I believe it's to Phoenix Sky Harbor for American Eagle. I believe that's Sky West. That's the only livery I have for American Eagle. There's a number of different regional airlines that operate under American Eagle. Sky West, Envoy. Then I have, I think, for United Express, which is the regionals for United Airlines. You got Air Wisconsin, but I don't think I have I do have some liveries for that, so maybe we'll do an Air Wisconsin flight as well. But I want to get in those CRJs, fly those around. So hopefully doing some. I wanted to with Allegiant. The first flight I really wanted to do was go out of Las Vegas, where Allegiant is based. They have the new Allegiant Stadium there for the Las Vegas Raiders. But the Las Vegas airport is a little wonky. All the terminal buildings are way too tall. And I think Miami's like that also. There's a few airports I've been to where the terminal buildings are like skyscrapers. And it's, unfortunately, I can't find like a Las Vegas freeware airport to fix that. Yep, again, and you can look on both the top and the bottom. Flight information on the top. You can see where we're going, our distance to. We're going from, I gotta pull it up because I can't even remember exactly the name. Punta Gorda, Florida, Punta Gorda Airport, or Charlotte County Airport, I believe was the original name. And we're flying to Nashville International in Nashville, Tennessee.
133.7 for Allegiant 612. Jacksonville Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
That's kind of weird, like this. I don't know what's going on here with the different frequencies. Just calling out frequencies and then telling them what flight level we're at. I don't know what that's about. That's something new. I don't know if that's a problem, if that's supposed to be like that. So off in the distance over there is going to be Tallahassee, the capital of Florida. As we pass over Madison, Florida, right below us. Find it. Probably right there. That's probably Madison. It really feels, I mean, this is just amazing. This flying over America, flying anywhere in the world so far, with the exception of probably China. China doesn't look so great for satellite footage and satellite photos, but anytime I fly over America, I remember with X-Plane, you had to actually have a program to pull the maps in. You'd then turn them into textures, and you put them into the game, and they'd load. And you only could get textures in certain areas. Some people did a lot of work and put packages together. I think I had most of the United States covered. I had New Zealand completely covered. I believe Australia as well. And when you had those satellite photos, it looked almost like this. And the amazing thing with Microsoft Flight Simulator and the engine and the way they've got Zibo's doing this is that this is just pulling it right in from Big Maps right now, live over my internet connection. I definitely wouldn't have been able to do this when I was living in China. When I was playing X-Plane, it worked to be able to download those But it took a lot of time because you had to download them, you had to convert them to the textures, all that. And you had to think where you wanted to do your flights and then kind of plan and like, okay, I'm going to get the really good satellite imagery near the area where I'm landing. And here it's everywhere. It goes off into the distance for as far as you can see. Really cool. Alright, I want to say... that's Valdosta, but it's not. Valdosta's probably over there. And that's going to be the interstate highway. Going up to Atlanta. And then up to Chattanooga. And then we'll get on the Interstate 24, which will take us... Get us up to Nashville.
Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
Like looking at it on the map, it doesn't. It seemed. I didn't realize 24 is as it's just kind of a 45-degree angle in Chattanooga between Chattanooga and Nashville. It seems like, yeah, it is kind of like that when you're driving it. But there is like a big curve, and you have to go. There's one big mountain that we have to climb in there. So that's Valdosta, Georgia, over there, right at the base. I think that's US 82, this road that's running through. US 84. Because Interstate 10 was a little bit further down, probably right around there. I don't know what city this was.
132.3 for Allegiant 612.
Oh, there it is. Quitman.
Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
We go right over Moultrie, Georgia. Airbus. I wanted to say that was a golf course down there, but I don't think that is. Flying right over Atlanta, so we should be getting quite a bit of Delta traffic on our radio. Go over there. I always enjoy driving. I don't really enjoy driving through Atlanta. The traffic sucks, but I do enjoy driving near the airport there because it's just constantly airplanes taking off and landing, you know, right over you as you're going on the freeway. Same in Chicago O'Hare, but even Atlanta, it seems like there's more. You're a little bit closer. There's a runway right around the curve, and you're coming down right over you. Chicago O'Hare is similar. And I think right now O'Hare is actually the busier airport. Atlanta used to be the busiest in the world. I think Chicago is right now currently. Just with the shuffling, different flights are being flown due to the coronavirus. But when everything's going, because Delta is based there, Delta has a lot of the regional, the way Delta set up their flights all come through Atlanta basically, so it's a lot of traffic. And it's mainly Delta. Back in the cockpit, haven't lost any screens, that's a good thing. Unfortunately, you can see it's just kind of hard because I'm not getting the cursor to work everywhere I'd like it to. Most of the problem. Sometimes if you shake around, you can get it to work. Other times you can't. So there, just get the right angle. That's kind of frustrating. I just downloaded the A330-900 Neo that just came out, and that's going to be kind of cool to get into because I have flown the 330-300 that was available from Project Megapack, and we have flown those a few times when appropriate on our world tour, and it then kind of went out of, it hadn't been updated since March, I think, and then they announced that they weren't going to be working on it anymore. And then this one dropped, and it looks really good. It actually comes with the co-pilot in the seat. And when we're inside here, we're looking at the co-pilot. My first officer is invisible. We're invisible too, we can't see the side. And there are some mods that you can add that. But in the A330-900 Neo, it actually has that crew member right there. And it sounds good, It's really good. Livery's already created. The next flight that we're going to be doing World Tour, I think it's not the flight we're going to be doing. I'll be recording today or tomorrow, but from Mauritania to wherever. It's an Air France flight, again, an A330. But unfortunately, there's no Air France livery yet.
Jacksonville Center, Allegiant 612
Again, calling out. Switching. I don't know what's going on with that. Why are we switching frequencies? Are we trying to find them? I didn't turn on VATSIM, and when I got on, there was some VATSIM coverage over Nashville a little bit. It looked like it was 7 more on Memphis. Right now, there's nothing on our path. A lot of stuff going on in Chicago, but no controllers there. Looks like Boston's got a little bit of stuff. I'll show you what I'm looking at right here. This is Volanta, good flight tracking software, and also shows you the controllers. I think Project Fly also did this. And it's really cool. Like you can see, the blue is you're going to be your center. G is ground. T is tower. This green circle is going to be your approach. Sometimes you'll get all of them in one place. It looks like it's a busy airport. There's just a lot of people right now. I've been there 5 times. All right, enough about that. Get back to the flight. So off to, now this is somewhere I'm really familiar with actually, because there's a Molson Coors or Miller Coors brewery down in Albany. Oh wow, yeah, those are, I was gonna say I recognize those, but no, maybe not. I think I've come in that way once, maybe. Because over here is Tifton, and then here's Albany, Georgia. Now usually, if I'm just trying to get my bearings here, usually I just kind of operate right around here. Yeah, you can see, I think this is the brewery. Because the brewery is actually situated at an old, yeah, that's going to be it right there. So that's the Miller Coors Brewery right there. And you can see it kind of looks like an old airport, which it is. I think there's actually some old hangars here, and then that kind of looks like runways. They're not there anymore. But the hangars, actually when you come in, well, our Millis Transfer, our terminal is probably right there. That dirt lot, that might be it. And then there's a pilot right there. Then you go over here is XPO. There's some warehouses that we need to look at through a lot. But there's Miller Coors. You come in on this road, swing on in, and check in. They then have you drop your empty trailer over here by these hangars. Then you go over and you pick up your trailer, and then you come back out. And I usually take this road right here, which is Georgia 300. That takes me all the way back to Interstate 75. And then take that all the way back up. Let's get a good shot of that. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool seeing it from a different perspective, seeing it from above and seeing what it looks like and where you're going. Yeah, we're right there. That is the Millis Transfer Terminal. We have a nice dirt lot there, sand lot. Pretty cool place. It's usually pretty hot when you're down there. So just kind of in and then back out. Don't really even get into Albany proper.
Allegiant 612. Jacksonville Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
45 minutes to go on this flight. On our way to Nashville, Tennessee. There's no one really in the chat, unfortunately. But if you're watching this on replay, thanks for watching. Please give it a like. Please comment below if you're watching in replay. Obviously, comment below. More comments, the more views. That's all helpful. If you want to see more live streams, want to see more videos, want to see more Microsoft Flight Simulator, consider donating. Got a few donating options down there. Patreon's pretty good. I believe Streamlabs, Buy Me a Coffee. Any of those, any little bit of money just contributes towards financing some things. Right now, it's like, can I get a little bit of money to help cover the costs of Adobe Suite that I can record videos, make graphics and stuff. But you don't have to. Obviously, subscribing and liking the video are really great, sharing it. And really love the comments. Comments are great. First officer, yeah, she keeps calling out. I'm not sure what. I don't know what's going on. That's a glitch. First officer here has a lot going on their screen. We got all the airports.
Going to 123.905, Allegiant 612. Atlanta Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
See, I've got airports. We might be using that one. Got it. Pretty cool, but set it up the way they wanted it. First officer. Turn like this. Turn on your screen. Make the screen's a little brighter. First officer, you can see. Cool. Yeah, I'm hoping I just don't get distracted by this flight crew to sim, and we can just land this flight, have a good. Something is broken with the ATC over there.
Atlanta Center.
She's just talking to herself.
Flight level 380.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, there is a plane in front of us. I need to figure out how to elevate, go up and down.
Allegiant 612 traffic in sight.
How to go forward, side to side. I don't know how to elevate my seat. Okay, I'll drink some water. behind us, that's the city of Americus. Actually, and Andersonville. Not sure if I can figure out exactly where it is, but we just kind of passed Andersonville, where Andersonville Prison during the Civil War was. Notorious Andersonville Prison. Down here we have Oglethorpe and Montezuma. A little further down, somewhere in this area. Might even be near to where that airport is. Oh no, the airport's a little too far. So kind of right in here is where Andersonville was, and there is a historic site there. Yeah, that's right. Montezuma. I always see the Montezuma sign, and then it's like Andersonville Prison. It's kind of a weird juxtaposition, but off to our right over there is going to be kind of losing where 75 is, but over there is going to be Perry, and then I think that's probably Warner Robins and Macon. Here's FS2Crew from FlyByWire. This is what we're using right now, FlyByWire A32NX Project Edition for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Right now they're selling it on sale for €20. I think it comes out to about $24. I don't think it's definitely not worth. I don't think it's worth $40 or $45, whatever it would come out to €40 here. €20 I think is a little bit. I think maybe probably €5 at this point. It's pretty cool, but I don't know. As they say, it's a must-have. Auto respond, that might be something too. Just have it auto respond and let the crew kind of do that stuff. I do hope they get some more voice sets, or you can like download voice sets or something, because I don't really like the voice sets they have right now. Or at least I have the British EU voice set for the first officer. He sounds a little bit better than the US one at this point. Contrails. If you've watched any of my flights, recently, World Tour flights, we've been using, instead of PAC-X, I've been going back and using self-loading cargo. Big difference between PAC-X and self-loading cargo that is really kind of apparent is the non-localized names in self-loading cargo. But right now, it doesn't really matter because it is localized, because the names are very Western. Here we have Steve Anderson, Denise Haycock. PAC-X, if we were flying this flight, probably most of the names would be very American as well. But what's cool about PAC-X is that the names are localized. So if you're flying in Japan or over China or the Middle East or in Africa, the names will change. You'll get a lot more Chinese, Japanese, or Arab names or African names, depending on where you are. If you're in Europe, you're going to have more European names. If you're in America, more American names. South America, you're going to have more Spanish, Portuguese kind of names. So right now, Supplemental Cargo doesn't have that. Supplemental Cargo is kind of stuck on version 1.5 as he's still working on trying to get it to work with Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's an issue with doors. But in the future, he does want to do that localized stuff. I really like Supplemental Cargo. There's a lot more going on than PAC-X. PAC-X is really, it kind of keeps track, has a few passengers, you do have some sounds. I like this because it's just a little bit more that you can look at. There's some more talking going on. They're both paid. I bought both of them. I think PAC-X is a little bit more expensive than Supplemental Cargo. But they're both really cool. I've always liked Supplemental Cargo just a little bit more. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. Right now, unfortunately, Supplemental Cargo is not optimized yet for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, look at that one. Contrail coming from that plane way down there. Right there. What city is that?
128.0 Allegiant 612.
Okay, that's Barnesville,
Atlanta
Georgia.
Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
That's me on US 41.
Allegiant 612 traffic in sight.
And that's Georgia 16 in Griffin. Coming up on Griffin, Georgia. There. Pretty quickly, we're going to be coming up on Atlanta. You already see it right there. Top portions of it. Airport. So airport right there. Further up. So you can see different planes. We're actually flying over right there. There's one below us that we're overtaking. Likely on approach. Looks like it's coming out, a smaller plane. We got a good shot of that one. That's a big airliner that is definitely on approach, slowing. Pretty cool.
Allegiant 612, have the traffic.
Okay, there's something wrong with our ATC, and that's going to make it hard for us to get in our approach and get lined up and everything, because we're not going to have ATC telling us where to go. The flight plan, though, that we have has us landing on runway 20 left, and we're going to be taking Sierra Whiskey Foxtrot Tango 2, that standard terminal arrival route. So we'll put that in. If we don't get anything from ATC, we're going to put that in. Hopefully we're not going the opposite direction of every other plane that's flying in right now. Which, even if ATC was active and working, they'd probably have us go the wrong way against the live traffic. That guy seems like he's sped up, doesn't it? Maybe it's because it's lower. Well, it might be the live traffic just catching up. He's just taking off. I don't think I changed my gear. Yep, there we are. We're on the south side of Atlanta, and there is Jackson Hartsfield Atlanta International Airport. You can see all the planes coming in there. Looks like they're coming in on a what is that? A west-east flow. So they're coming from the west. They're coming east, landing east, and that's usually right here is. Yeah, so this is 285. Right here is 85. Go out to Montgomery. I believe it goes out to Montgomery, Alabama. Right here is 20. Interstate 20 is up there. And then then 285 goes around, goes all the way around. But yeah, it's really cool because you actually go right under the runways here. I've gone under this one so many times, and when they're coming in this way, they're landing right over you on the freeway. I don't know where this guy's flying, but he's below us. You can see all these guys coming in. You see other ones taking off. The east. Pretty cool.
Allegiant 612 traffic in sight.
There's downtown Atlanta, so US 20 is right there, goes right through downtown 75. No trucks are allowed on 75 through Atlanta, but we all have to take 275 around. And this gets to be a lot of traffic. Usually the traffic's right around here, up in Cobb County, right around where 75, 275 come, 285 come back together. That's right there. That's where the Braves Stadium is, Truist Park, their new stadium. It was SunTrust before, but now it's Truist. Yeah, I've driven quite a bit around Atlanta. Not always the most fun ride, especially on a Monday morning. It seems like everyone wants to have a breakdown on their morning commute. Still haven't got good camera settings. The drone camera settings don't want to save. And also, I can't even slow down or speed up. You see the, I don't know, is that the Georgia Dome down there still, or what is it now? The Mercedes-Benz. I don't know if they have the new stadium in there.
For Allegiant 612. Atlanta Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
There you can see 75 coming out, and then this whole area is built up around the Braves new stadium. I don't even know if I can see the Braves new stadium right there, but that is where it would be. I didn't realize it was an airport right there. Right, this is kind of, I mean, I think it's probably 8, 9, there's some of the stretch right here, there's like 10 lanes of highway, and then they also they built a new express lane. You can kind of see every once in a while popping off, and that express lane changes directions, and it weaves in the middle, sometimes it's on the other side, on one side or the other, and so you'll have cars driving opposite directions all over the place.
Allegiant 612 traffic in sight.
Figure out what that is. That might be that Kennesaw Mountain where something's going on there, a little graphic glitch you can see. I always forget where there's a place where it was the first sculpting where it has the Confederates, Lee and Big Lee, Stonewall Jackson, and Jefferson Davis on their horses. That was on board some bull drum. Probably completely butchering his name wrong, but that was his first sculpting before that was his sculpture that he did before Mount Rushmore. I think it was left unfinished actually, because he actually got into a disagreement with people that had commissioned him, and it was left unfinished. And I think they brought in another sculptor to kind of finish it up.
Allegiant 612, have the traffic.
Trying to see if I can find where the terminal is over here. there's a dam here. This does not look like a natural lake. You can see it. And usually you can tell because that's the kind of lakes you get when it's a dam. It's just filling in the areas between mountains. I want to say it's right there. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so.
133.1 Allegiant 612. Atlanta Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
Could be it.
Going to 133.8 Allegiant 612. Atlanta Center, Allegiant 612, flight level 380.
Taking 75 up, and you can see the mountains, the ridges, which were very important during basically 75 follows the path, and it's just the way you had to do it to get down to Atlanta from Chattanooga, and that's where Sherman, William Tecumseh Sherman, Major General during the Civil War. After the Battle of Chattanooga, when Grant and Sherman came and rescued General Thomas, who had been kind of surrounded in Chattanooga by General Braxton Bragg and the Confederacy. After the Battle of Chattanooga, where Grant defeated Bragg, they broke out. Grant was, and that was late in 1864, about December, and Grant was then called out east to become the General-in-Chief of all the armies. Left the West under the control of Sherman, and Sherman then, in the spring of 1864, so it was December 1863. But in 1864, Grant was called out east to take control of all the armies, and he stationed himself then with the Army of the Potomac and General Meade against Lee on the Eastern Front, and left Sherman, who obviously he trusted more, able to handle things himself than Meade, in control of the Western theater. And yeah, but Sherman, he had to break through the bridges and basically took the path down 75 to Atlanta. Obviously, Interstate 75 wasn't there in 1864, but a lot of battles happened here. Marietta, obviously Chattanooga, Marietta. I think there was probably a battle of Smyrna, and then obviously Atlanta.
Descend and maintain flight level 280 Allegiant 612.
Okay, so we're getting half of the conversation. We'll do it. Okay, so let's see if we can hear first officer. Flight level change.
Thrust idle.
Check.
Descent.
Check.
Starting our descent. So we're doing this flight time.
Vertical speed.
Check.
Destination data. lot of stuff's happening now, so we're gonna do ILS 20 left.
For safety reasons, please turn off all electronic devices or switch to the airplane mode.
It's in Swift 2.
Please also note that the aircraft will
612, flight to change destination to Nashville.
Why it has to change destination? It is.
Allegiant 612 cleared to Nashville Airport as filed.
Check.
Squawk 2766. Continue to left turning and following heading 335. Resume on navigation descent and maintain flight level 260 Allegiant 612.
Thrust idle.
Check.
Descent.
Check.
Alright, so we are now on the standard terminal approach. It starts all the way out here in Chattanooga. That's amazing. You think how far, when I drive between Chattanooga, it takes like 2 hours at least. I'm in a plane, all the way on the approach. That's that green line. Chart.
Start.
Check.
Speed.
Check.
Approach is
132.05 for Allegiant 612. Atlanta Center Allegiant 612 is passing flight level 300, descending flight level 260.
To go.
Check.
We're not getting the other half of the conversation, so it's kind of
vertical speed.
Check.
Thrust idle.
Check.
Descent.
Check.
We're going over Chattanooga. See the ridges.
Outstar.
Check.
Speed.
Check.
Come in. Yeah, so there's 75, and then 75 continue off that way to Knoxville, and 24. Go through the East Ridge right here. We have down here is this direction is the
1000 to go.
Check.
Chickamauga battlefield. Battle. Rosencrantz was the commander of the Union Army, and Thomas had a stand. General Thomas held the ground and was able to have an orderly retreat back into the city of Chattanooga up here. Okay, yeah, that's right. And when, so then you have, I believe, Lookout Mountain. That's going to be that one right there.
Maintain flight level 200 Allegiant
right
612.
And the Union soldiers actually stormed up, and it was, I believe, the first unit was the Wisconsin unit. I think it was the 15th Wisconsin. Under first man up was Lieutenant MacArthur, who was General Douglas MacArthur's grandfather.
Passing flight level 260, descending flight level 200.
Lieutenant MacArthur was from Milwaukee. And that's Lookout Mountain right there. I think that's probably the Horseshoe Ridge. And it's really cool, again, flying over these areas and really getting a lay of the land. You don't get when you're kind of driving through it.
126.75 for Allegiant 612. Center Allegiant
see that ridge cut through
flight level 260, descending flight level 200.
Thrust idle.
Check.
Descent.
Check.
You have control.
I have control.
We're going to go into our flight computer and get our
descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Allegiant 612.
basically on there. Performance page, except for our transition altitude, which should be 10,000 feet at the end. Look at our chart. It's actually 18,000 feet. I should have it changed. I believe 10,000 feet is full. It's 10,000 feet is 0. The United States is 18. Message. See messages, radar, get that out. There it comes.
Out, start.
Check.
Speed.
Check.
Don't want to start at 10,000. Real pain in the butt.
Vertical speed.
Check.
Thrust idle.
Check.
Descent.
Check.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't. Alright, performance page. Next phase, QNH is, what is it? Oh, I think
Cabin crew, prepare for arrival.
I think we go in America. See, I haven't flown many flights at all looking at the matter down in America. 2999. So we don't do QNH. Or actually, we convert that to QNH. It's still never good at QNH. It's telling us there that doesn't help me. Temperature is 28. Wind is 180 degrees at 7 knots. Our minimum approach.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving at our destination shortly. If you are making a connection to another flight, please see the customer service agent meeting this flight or video monitors inside the terminal for connecting gate information. For your continued safety, flight attendants will now walk through the cabin to secure it for landing. We'll be collecting all service items, newspapers, and any other items you wish to discard or may not be taking off the aircraft with you. Also, in preparation for landing, please turn off all electronic devices. Stow these devices and all other carry-on items. Please use caution when opening overhead bins as items may have shifted during our flight. Please stow your tray tables or return your seats to their upright position and check the security of your seatbelts. We will be landing shortly. Thank you.
We'll put that into our here as well. It's already in. We'll put the VOR in as well, just so we have, just in case. 114.1. Not sure what our course is probably Alright, so now that we have completed that, we go to
2992 set.
2992 set. Passing 12,900.
Yes, it did because we passed
now
it.
Checked.
Cool. Again, our sunset. Sunset go. Oh, our camera's tipped over. Unfortunately, I can't see Mount Eagle. Probably back there. Pretty significant high point, but it probably really is. It's probably just a
Mount Star.
Check.
Speed.
Check. 1000 to go.
Check.
Speed is coming down to 250, so we're going to be at 10,000 feet. We have our barometer set to ground pressure. Landing lights are on.
Out. Check.
Control.
You have control.
Approach checklist.
Briefing.
Confirm.
Econ status.
Checked.
Seatbelts.
Make sure it's doing econ status. Right here, if I can click on it. I like that light change. It used to be green. Econ status is normal.
On.
Barrow ref.
2999 set.
2999 set. Minimum.
751 set.
751 set. Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist complete.
Pretty cool. I like that actually. It's not, it's a little distracting at first. Once I get the voice commands down. Again, it has all these assists action that help you know what you should say or what checklist you should be on at this point. Hello, Chet Sky. Thanks for stopping in. We are just playing around with the FS2Crew or the FlyByWire A32NX Airbus A320. We're flying into Nashville. We're on our final approach. You see there's some weather down there in Texas on this radar. Looks like some weather up coming near Ohio, Indiana, and around Lake Michigan.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect RNAV runway 20 center approach via lean-on transition. Clear to lean-on Allegiant 612.
So they want us to go and see now. So we gotta change all this. It's okay. Another part. We're just gonna go with what we did.
Allegiant 612 with like ILS runway 20 left approach vectors to final. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway 20 left approach. Sidestep runway 20 center. Allegiant 612.
Okay, we'll do 20 center, but I just want to do ILS. Just we'll just stay on that. We'll land at 20 left. It's all right. Since ATC is kind of messed up as it is, we're getting only half the conversation. Okay, so we're at a day, and chart back up for a day for the approach. We need to be at 250 knots on between 8,000 and 12,000 feet, which we are. When we get to breath, we need to be at 6,000 or above 6,000. Descent soon. We're on our way now to Zibo. know if RNAV 20 is at the center. That's all really confusing. I'm just going to stay on ILS 2020. They'll chew us out for it. Yeah, this is Vatsim or IBAO. We want to follow what they say. Or it's in real life. PTC sometimes.
119.35, Allegiant 612. Nashville approach Allegiant 6121, 0,000 feet.
So we're missing first part. We're not getting agency. I don't know if that's something. So what's pretty cool is our next we got some different stuff like flaps 1. I think this is stuff we call out. We'd be calling it out when the first officer would repeat, and that's what we're doing command. So there's actually this extra level. I have to click this. Obviously, if I was doing voice controls, I'm not doing that. Just say flaps 1 and be flaps 1. But once we get our gear extended, he'll actually, I think the first officer is going to power the spoilers, turn on and turn off, or turn on. Cool. That's all these things. That's both of us having to jump around, and especially since we're having trouble reacting with all these lights currently. We're going to start descent. Sometimes ATC will do this. They won't send you to 5,000 feet if you really need to be at 5,000 feet.
Maintain 5,000 feet, Allegiant 612.
Thrust idle.
Check.
Descent.
Check.
I'm going to see if him having control of the lights is actually got something on the car. Sometimes something on the car is like, oh, you had your lights out the wrong time. I think there's another thing to set that kill do for you. I'm actually going to turn it out. I'm actually going to set, there's another setting to do single engine taxi after landing. See how that works. It makes it a voice. All these things can be voice controlled as well. You can see our speed. That's why we have our speed is going down. That's why we have 7. There we go. Flaps 1. Oh, terrible. I'm losing my cursor. Flaps 1.
Are you sure about that?
So he says,
are you sure about that?
Well, maybe we don't want to go flaps 1. That's kind of interesting. There's also
Maintain present heading and altitude. Tower on 11.8.6 Allegiant 612.
It's really fun.
Nashville Tower Allegiant 612. 18 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 20 left approach, sidestep runway 20 center.
What's the sidestep?
Cleared ILS runway 20 left approach, Allegiant 612.
This flight turned out really nice coming in, landing in Nashville as the sun going down. It's about, well, Nashville, I think it's 5:53 p.m. Central Time. Basically, we're getting the same scene as I have up here in Milwaukee. Big clouds. A really nice. We're going over. Now this is going to be. We're over Lebanon. Now we're going over on Gallatin. Circle over Gallatin and then come on our approach over Hendersonville.
Are you sure about that?
That's not sure about that. We gotta get down to 1,000 first.
1,000 to go.
Check.
Excited about the flaps. Constraints, it's going to tell us our altitude at each point.
Out start.
Check.
Speed.
Check.
Lope start.
Check.
So
Out. Check.
Side step.
Glide slope start.
Check.
Lope.
Check. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Flaps 2.
Check speed.
Glide slope.
Check.
maybe we need to have the interior. A little high. I think the guys said they were ready to.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for land. Thank you.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Flaps 4.
Check speed.
Landing checklist.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust.
Speed.
Auto brake.
Medium.
Ecam memo.
Landing. No glue.
Landing checklist complete.
Lights like that. Last one.
$2,500.
Radar altimeter alive.
Check. Manual flight.
Check.
I think something got broke. Hopefully.
Speed.
Check. Sync rate.
SRS will go around track. Auto thrust blue.
Check.
Check.
Pitch.
1,000.
I think I confused it. Thought I was going around, but I didn't. A little speed there. Paying attention.
1,000.
Not the best approach. Because I was way too high, but I got too low. Too high.
Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
Continue.
Check.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Check.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Retard.
Don't sink.
5.
Spoilers, reverse green, decel. 70 knots.
You don't want to come to a complete stop like that. I thought I turned the reverses off. I don't want to come to a complete stop like that.
After landing checklist.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
APU.
It's really hard. I can't get anything up. Can't get anything to start up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion of our flight. Please remain seated with your
Radar.
seatbelts fastened until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign and the aircraft is parked safely at the gate. This will be your indication it is safe to move about the cabin, gather your belongings, and disembark. We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We appreciate your business and hope to see you again on a future flight.
And you see he turned off the TCAS for us. Our landing lights. I don't know what all this traffic is in the middle of the airport. What road that is. I think there might be something like that. Here he is. Over there.
Off.
Are you sure about that? Predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist complete.
Shut down engine 2.
Okay, so he's shutting down engine 2. We'll go with one engine. Taxi. That's pretty interesting.
Nashville ground, Allegiant 612 taxi to parking. Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Charlie cross runway tree 1 Delta cross runway 20 right Delta Alpha Allegiant 612.
Actually, go right here. There it is. Yeah, you see the terminal building. They're a little too tall, I think. Plane's coming in. Pretty cool. I don't know what that is. Looks like there might be another Allegiant right there. Might be us. Delta and American. Now, some of this is live, and there are some planes that are here that are static aircraft, but not that many. Most of them are going to be live.
Taxi light off. Parking checklist.
APU bleed.
On.
Engines.
Ladies and gentlemen from the cockpit, once again, I hope you enjoyed your flight with us today. On behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, we wish you a safe and pleasant journey from the airport and hope to see you again soon. Thanks for flying with us.
And that's the end of our flight. The flight simulator is just gonna freeze up. Okay. Looks like it wants to go to the end screen. Well, that's a little bit of a bummer because I kind of wanted to do kind of see what happens with our checklist. So it's pretty cool because you get the checklist and you don't have to actually look at your checklist. He'll call out the things and kind of follow along. Looks like, however, we are frozen up, and unfortunately that means I can't even get self-loading cargo to finish. So yeah, thanks a lot, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Getting jammed up. I can't even get a nice shot of us at the gate. Well, that's it. And I got pretty dark in here. So thanks for coming along for the flight. We had a little bit of a firm landing. I think it was, what, 200 something. You can look at Atlanta, actually. Going up this flight. So there's our flight. We went over Atlanta. Atlanta's a pretty busy airport on that sim and everything. We did our little loop and landed at the left runway. Let's complete our flight. We're the 10th person to arrive here today. Our statistics. 253 feet per minute, so a little bit firm. Landing speed a little bit under 119. G-force not bad at all. Fuel burn 4,200. Not a bad flight. And interesting with
off. Are you sure about that? Exterior lights.
This is pretty cool. Having this. I'm gonna have to play with it some more and eventually learn how to do it with the voice commands, because trying to click on stuff while you're trying to do it kind of defeats the purpose. Unfortunately, Flight Simulator has decided to freeze up, and so self-loading cargo is gonna just have to shut down. We're not gonna be able to check that out, and we'll exit out of this. All right, so thanks for coming along on this flight and experiencing FS2Crew for the first time, just trying to figure out how it works. As I do more A32NX flights, probably with the World Tour videos, that's where I'll be using this. So check those out to see some of the flight crew in action. And if you haven't already, hit the subscription button and the notification bell. Give this video a like and comment below. More comments. Let's get a conversation going, because that means more people coming to these videos and seeing it. And hopefully on these live streams, we get more of you guys in here and we can talk. And until next time, remember, keep the blue side up, happy flying, and take care.